Hello friends! Today we will analyze the plot of the 2010 crime thriller called Undeniable 3. The action takes place in the Black Hills maximum security prison in Russia. The host says that the fight is about to begin. Yuri smartly washes the smelly toilet under the ring. He hears the excited cries of the audience and remembers his glorious military past. Meanwhile, prison champion Vladimir Zaikov wins and kills yet another opponent. The organizer of the underground fights, Gaga, is extremely pleased with his investment, which has already paid for itself many times over. He drops 1,000 rubles on the floor and invites the janitor to pick them up. Gaga recognizes the limping ragamuffin of the legendary fighter. The next day, the boyki say that he was denied pardon. He will not be able to write a petition for him for another 15 years. In his cell, Yuri picks up a bucket of water with his injured leg to work it out. He remembers the fight that turned him from the best fighter in the world to a miserable prison janitor. Gaga enters the cell, offers a quick transfer to the best cell and a job in the prison library. The fighter refuses. He does not want concessions. However, Yuri asks to be allowed to participate in the next fight. Gaga refuses, realizing that the injured champion has no chance against Zaikov. While Zaikov destroys one opponent after another in the ring, he smartly continues to train his knee, enduring insane pain. He takes out a razor and cuts off his long hair. Gaga is going to participate in a super profitable project. The host announces that the winner of today's fight will fight for freedom in an international tournament. Zaikov finishes off his rival in less than a minute. Yuri pours water on the giant, calls him not a real champion and wants to fight him. Vladimir spits contemptuously, but Gaga nods approvingly and the head of the prison agrees to fight, sure that the lively end. Yuri rips off his dirty clothes and boldly rushes into the fray. Smartly does not allow the opponent to carry out a single blow. Literally throws him out of the ring and becomes the winner to the surprise of everyone around. A fighter is transported to the maximum security Gorgon prison in Georgia. Inside, he sees 7 more prisoners in battles with whom he will have to win his right to freedom. Gaga stays at a luxury hotel, though he doesn't verbally hope he can go far in the tournament smartly. The head of the CAS prison orders the applicants to give their names and why they went to jail. North Korea's Delon, Croatia's Andro Krajic, Greece's Petros Mavros, France's Jean Dupont, Brazil's Andrego Silva, Brazil's Raul Quinones, nicknamed Dolor Colombia, who has been in Gorgon for 10 years, and finally Jericho Jones, nicknamed Turbo USA. Everyone is up for murder. Only Turbo says that he was accused of murder, but he does not admit his guilt, as he says that the prison will become a real hell for the convicts. Turbo taunts the boss. Cass replies that another such trick and he will greatly regret it. At the hotel, Gaga is chatting with her old buddy Gia Format. When the leader of the Georgian criminal group Rizu enters, the mafiosi greets the guests and raises a toast to the first international championship among prisoners in death fights. Early in the morning, the guards wake up the prisoners and send them to hard work with huge cobblestones. Turbo is indignant because in America the convicts are not forced to work so hard. Turbo wants to pounce on Yuri, but the security stops the impudent boy. Jones is surprised that Dolor is allowed to just sit and read on top of the hill. After work, he is briskly engaged in the gym. A little later, Turbo joins him. Dolor sits in a cell and prays. Cass brings the guy a present from Reese. This is a powerful dope under its action. The Colombian easily endures all sparring partners, although they attack in a crowd. The first fight between Andrego from Brazil and Petros from Greece. Andrego uses capoeira tricks to deftly dodge his opponent's blows and quickly knock him out. In the second duel, Turbo go against the Croatian Andro. An experienced Turbo boxer finds weaknesses in the opponent's defense. He allows the Croatian to pull off a few moves only to send him to the floor with a powerful punch. Frenchman Jean comes out against Yuri. Gaga watches the fight from above. Smelly immediately seizes the advantages and crushes the Frenchman on all fronts. When, after another fall, Jean tries to get up, Yuri finishes him off with a powerful double blow. Limping heavily, he leaves the ring. The dollar will have to fight with the Korean Dalan. The Colombian is the main favorite of the entire tournament. The Korean masterfully controls his body, but against the powerful and dope, he has no chance. Losers are sent back to their prisons with no chance of parole. However, all four are taken to a secluded place and shot, and the bodies are burned. The next day, the convicts work again and the jailer rests. Turbo whips Yuri on his sore knee several times and gets punched in the face for it. The two are fighting. The guards decide not to interfere and look at the entertainment. When Briskly begins to beat Jones, the guards separate them. Both are thrown into tiny cold and damp punishment cells, and where it is very difficult to breathe. Turbo continues to provoke Yuri, but the fighter doesn't answer. In a narrow chamber, it is impossible even to sit down because of this. Pain in the knee causes incredible suffering to the strikers. Gaga and Jiva bribe the guards to let them hang out with their fighters. The convicts tell the men that they are forced to work at the mine while Raul is chilling on the sidelines. Embittered Gaga and Jiva rush to the chief, but they are met there by Riza. The gangster explains that he arranged everything so that the Colombian would win the tournament and advised the guests to bet all their money on him. Briskly and Turbo, realizing that they have common enemies, begin to communicate with each other. Jones says that he came to win, to which Yuri replies that the main task here is to survive. The enemies here are not only in the ring, many in prison wish them dead. Former rivals even begin to train together. Gaga and Jiva gather all their savings to bet on the Colombian fighter. Guys understand that they need advantages and train hard right during their careers. Turbo picks flowers and gives them to Yuri, saying that they will help with knee pain. At dinner, Jones admits that he is participating in the tournament in order to get out as soon as possible, where his son and daughter are waiting for him. Smartly sure that he is the best fighter in the world and will definitely win. In the evening, Yuri squeezes oil out of flowers and lubricates his knee with it. Before the semifinals, Gaga and Jiva manage to bet a lot of money on Dolor. In the first battle, Briskly and Andrego will come together. The Brazilian hits Yuri on his bad leg, causing him to writhe in pain. Dolor now knows his weak spot. Smartly uses a painful hold and forces the opponent to surrender. The loser is shot immediately after the battle. Rizu begins to worry about the outcome of the tournament, then Cass promises to put more pressure on the competitors' fighters. The chief provokes the Turbo, and when the fighter wants to hit the Casa, he is grabbed and severely beaten by the guards. Yuri hears muffled groans in the corridor and sees a badly beaten Jones in the cell. Smartly offers to call a doctor, but the American refuses. When Yuri is training in the gym, Dolor comes to him and promises to destroy the fighter in the ring, but he only smirks smartly. Then both pound the pairs furiously in preparation for the upcoming duel. Turbo is also preparing for a fight. Despite the depressing state on the way to the mine, Yuri offers his friend to run away, but he is ready to lose, go home, but the old man explains that the loser is killed here. Smartly hits the chain several times with a hammer, but the young one eventually breaks and the warden urgently announces the alarm. The guards swoop down on Yuri and Jones and a fight breaks out. The warders knock down the Turbo and beat them with clubs, but they smartly take out all the opponents and free the comrades. Jones runs away into the woods and Yuri is knocked out by a guard who comes to the rescue. When the fighter comes to his senses, the boss is standing over him. Riza and the Eider admit that he bet all his money on the Colombian, not believing that he can smartly win with an injured knee, which makes the fighter very angry. AKAs declares that tomorrow the final will take place, in which Dolor will fight with Yuri. At the beginning of the fight, it is obvious that the Colombian is doped. Rivals stand each other and exchange powerful blows. Dolor, knowing the enemy's weak point, hits him in the leg, causing the fighter to scream in pain. The Colombian brutally beats Yuri and then sends him out of the ring with a strong blow. Glibly notices a mop next to him, remembers his past and rises a second before the referee was ready to admit defeat. Dolor sees that blood is running from the opponent's injured knee and understands that he will not last long. However, Yuri grits his teeth and sends the opponent to the floor of the ring. When smartly intercepting the advantage, the bosses are horrified to understand that they can lose a lot of money. Yuri blocks the blow of the Colombian, who breaks his leg and yells in pain. Bike is declared the winner. Gaga is furious he just lost $5 million. Enraged Gio shoots Riza and the head of the prison kills Gio. Cass explains to the winner that only one person can get freedom. He became Turbo after escaping and Yuri will be returned to prison in Russia. The chief brings the bike to the place of execution of the rest of the fighters and presents the trunk to his head. Jones suddenly appears, shoots all the jailers and takes the guy to the Gaga car. Gaga gives a share of the winnings to Yuri and admits that he put all his money on him as the best fighter in the world. Briskly says goodbye to the Turbo and leaves at last a free man. Thanks for watching to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out our next video.